Hi everyone, Papa Clayton here. This is my second video. This video I'm calling Getting Ready to Bring a Baby or a Child into Your Home. Just to reference, if you haven't watched my first video, which is our adoption story, when Eric and I first started looking at becoming parents, we were exploring becoming foster parents, fostering kids, maybe even foster to adopting. And so we kind of wanted, this video is kind of geared towards the materials that we utilized when we were thinking about becoming foster parents to get us prepared to have a child in our home, thinking that we'd have a 2-year-old or older, more than likely. However, once we found out that we're going to be blessed with the opportunity to adopt a newborn, our daughter Elaine, we realized that we needed to supplement some additional material referencing how to bring a newborn into your home. So I kind of want to make this video just to give you a brief overview of the materials that we utilize, whether that be books or videos off of YouTube, and just some other basic tips or hints that got us prepared to bring a baby into our home that I hope that you'll be able to utilize. Just to give you a little bit of an update on Elaine, she's over 6 weeks old. She had her 1-month appointment just a couple weeks ago, and she's doing great. She's happy and healthy. Today I'm in a button-up as opposed to my t-shirts and sweats that I normally wear, because yesterday when I wanted to make this video, Elaine decided that she was going to have one of her what I call snacking and micro napping days, where she's getting a bottle but she's falling asleep before she finishes it. When you get her down for a nap, she doesn't stay down for long. You're picking up and having to soothe her quite often. It can be a bit of a struggle. But even in those struggles and those frustrated moments, once you pick her up and she nestles into you and she starts cooing and smiling at you, all is forgiven. You just remember how over the moon you are about having her in your life. So anyway, so today I digress. We'll go ahead and get started with this video. So when we were looking at becoming foster parents, our instructors in our MAP class had recommended some materials, and one of them being 20 Things Adopted Kids Wish Their Adoptive Parents Knew, and that's by Sherrie Eldridge. Even though we were looking at becoming foster parents, our instructors encouraged us to read this book because it does talk a lot about childhood trauma that is experienced from kids who are with parents that are not their biological parents. So if you're adopting, absolutely this is a great book for you. But even if you're fostering, knowing that these kids are going to have experienced some of the same trauma that an adopted child would experience as a foster kid, it's good to know. Sherrie Eldridge is a product of adoption. She was in a private closed adoption, and much of her childhood and adolescence and adulthood, she didn't know much about her story and her biological family, and just talks a lot about the trauma and the shame and the things that she experienced throughout her childhood and life. That she wishes that her parents would have done differently in her upbringing and had better educated her on where she came from. And hopefully that would have, minimized some of those emotions and that trauma that she experienced throughout her life. She does interview other adoptive parents, adoptees, whether they be young, adolescents, or adults, and just kind of figured out what are some things that you really wish that your adoptive parents would have known how to do differently that would have probably saved you some of that emotional harm or struggle or frustrations. And it's a really good book. It's a good, easy read. It's not a very long book, and it reads really well. So I definitely recommend that book. Another book that we read on parenting, believing that we're going to have an older child in our home to start with, there's 2 actual books. I'm going to give you both of them at the same time because they're very similar in their content, but they're both very good books. So one of them is Unconditional Parenting, and that's by Alfie, Kohn, and Peaceful Parent, Happy Kids, and that's by Dr. Laura Markham. And both of those books are about parenting a child in order to have alternatives for discipline and punishment, so that it's not obviously discipline or punishment in the sense of causing harm to your child, but more of how to figure out, first of all, addressing the behaviors and realizing that a lot of these behaviors that children are exhibiting that you don't want to see in them are usually rooted in some kind of root cause or a need that needs to be addressed. And it just talks about figuring out what it is that your child needs how to satisfy those needs to change the behavior, and then at what point do you come in and you give that child a teachable moment of that experience so that you can hopefully keep them from replicating or continuing with that behavior as they get older. So if you're going to bring children into your home and you haven't been parenting in a while, this would be or you haven't parented at all, this may be a couple of good books for you. Or if you currently have a child in your home and you're just struggling because you're leaning very much upon the discipline and the punishment styles that you were taught or learned through observing your parents or maybe your friends or family, and you just need a good resource for an alternative opinion, and maybe putting some of those practices in your home to hopefully quiet and resolve some of those issues. So 2 really good books. Of course, then once we found out that we're going to be adopting a newborn, we realized that we're going to need some additional materials. I am the oldest of 4 siblings, and my youngest sibling is 7 years younger than me. So there is a point in my childhood that I do remember having to prepare bottles and change diapers and give my sister a bath to help my mom out. But that was quite some time ago, and other than parenting my nieces and nephews on occasion when they visit, typically their parents are in tow, so even then it's not a real experience. So we wanted to, get some good resources to prepare us for what to expect when getting a newborn. So one book that is probably extremely obvious, but I'll go ahead and state it because I found it very helpful. And that is What to Expect Your First Year, and that's by Heidi Murkoff. There's all those What to Expect books. We weren't actually pregnant ourselves, so we didn't start with the What to Expect When You're Expecting book. We went right to the first year book. I will just tell you that the book does read like a textbook. So I'm not going to say that I will say it's not a fun read, but it is a very educational read. It talks a lot about the development of your baby from 1 month, obviously, to 1 year, whether that be their eating habits, sleeping habits, their milestones, physical and emotional, what are some common medical issues that might arise in their first year, when to see a physician, what you might be able to do for home remedies at home. So it's an overall good book, and one that is a book that's very similar to this last book, but reads less like a textbook, and it's a little bit smaller and a little easier to digest. So I wanted to throw that out there. I really enjoyed Eat, Sleep, Poop, and that is by Scott Kohn. And like I said, it's a lot easier and it's a lot more fun the way it's written to read. Obviously, the title kind of addresses that with the Eat, Sleep, Poop. But I would recommend both of them because it's always good to get an opinion of another person, particularly I think Dr. Scott Kohn he's his actual doctor, and it talks about his first year of parenting. So he has some very funny insights and so forth of what he experienced in raising his own child. So very much recommend both of those books for bringing a newborn into your home. So on top of some reading materials, I wanted to go on YouTube and just watch some videos about preparing our home. So I'll give you those videos that we utilized. And I will reference all of this material in the description notes. So all the book titles and authors and all of the videos that I reference, I'll have that information in the description so you can fall back on them. But I will tell you that YouTube is very easy to fall down that rabbit hole of typing in some common searches like how to prepare your home for a newborn, what are some nursery essentials. You're going to see a lot of videos pop up, and you can kind of pick and choose which ones you find more geared towards your perspective or more entertaining to you. But here's some good ones that I can remember from all the videos that I did watch. So I'm just going to give you a few. One of them is Newborn Cues, and that is by Janelle Video. And in that video, it is very simple and easy. It just talks about some verbal, as in, there are different cries, nonverbal, what are their facial expressions or arm gestures or body posturing. What are some things that newborns are trying to tell their parents about what their needs are? So it talks about, noticing when a baby is hungry, noticing when a baby is stressed or overwhelmed, noticing when a baby is ready to go to sleep, when they're ready to play. And there's a lot of other stuff in that video, but it was really good just to get a very visual representation of, okay, here is the need, and this is what the child looks like and does most commonly when they need that need addressed. So that was very helpful. Another video was Newborn Must-Haves and Regrets, and that was by Natalie Bennett. She seems like a very down-to-earth, easygoing mother. I think she's a mother of 3, at least in this video. So she has some definite experience on her belt when it comes to ideas of what are must-haves and what are some regrets that she has for her nursery. And I liked her video and the content about products, and even the products that she recommends. She even talks about what she doesn't like about those. So I felt like she had a very honest and educated opinion on those things. So recommend that video if you're stocking your nursery. And another video that I recommend is Bringing Your Baby Home from the Hospital by St. Louis Children's Hospital. And one of the things that you'll find on YouTube is there are a few that I remember that were kind of like hospital new mom orientations, kind of getting them prepared to receive their baby in the hospital, what's going to happen in the hospital, and then how to get ready to leave the hospital, as well as what are going to be some things that you're going to have to do almost immediately once you get your baby home. This video itself was definitely focused on, leaving the hospital and what to do to make sure that you're ready to care for the needs of your baby immediately when you get home. So that was very helpful for us. So those are some, excuse me, I'm going to turn my page. So those are some books and some videos that we watched. Like I said, on YouTube, you're going to get very overwhelmed. I do want to recommend, because it can get very costly if you're going to start investing in books and you're not going to realize whether or not you like the content or the style of the book, or if it's one of those that you're going to read you're never going to use again. I'd highly recommend that you go to your public library and just search parenting books, nonfiction, and just start seeing the plethora of resources that you have available, and just start checking them out and seeing, okay, is this one that I want to purchase, or is this one that I can check out and take notes, and then I can always check out again if I need to re-reference the material. So definitely recommend that, as well as reading books at the library to prepare yourself for a newborn. One of the things that we did to prepare our newborn for us, and the mother, our biological mom, she was very willing to do this. We checked out a whole bunch of children's books and bought a digital recorder and recorded ourselves reading stories to Elaine so that she could put the headphones on her tummy, and hopefully Elaine could start getting used to our voices, so that when she met us, when she was born, it wasn't as traumatizing of who these voices were that were speaking at me. So it's just another thing to think about if you are going to make one of those videos, or sorry, not videos, a digital recording for yourselves, and you need material to read. And without a great expense, you can just go to the library, get a whole stack, read them that night, go back the next day and get another stack. I think Eric and I read like 15 books on the digital recorder, and we did that in a week's time to get that prepared. So it was very easy. So another thing that we did that might be helpful is we picked out our theme of our nursery, and the original way I got an idea for it is I went and I looked at nursery bedding and just kind of got an idea of what patterns and colors and so forth that I was drawn to. And I was definitely drawn to the woodland creatures, and it was a very unisex, so that even if you were decorating your nursery for a girl or for a boy, a lot of the toys, some of the clothing, the bedding, it can go gender either way, and you can always make the gender more specific in your nursery by using accents, whether that be paint colors or accessories that you bring into your nursery that are more feminine if it's a girl, or more masculine if it's a boy. So I really was attracted to the woodland creature theme. So on top of going to the stores and determining what I would want to buy, I also used Pinterest to just do some searches for woodland creature nurseries, woodland baby girl Woodland Creatures baby girl nurseries, and just kind of got some ideas of what parents had posted, maybe even some interior decorators had posted. And it gave me a really good feel for how I wanted to decorate Elaine's room and what pieces were very essential to put in the nursery that I may have not even thought of just on going to the store and looking at all the product that they had. So it's something I definitely recommend doing. When it comes to decorating your nursery, I definitely would recommend accepting any hand-me-down bedroom furniture for your nursery. Of course, in my head, I'm thinking baby girl, woodland creature, white furniture, but we had some friends that had recently had children themselves, and they've graduated out of their crib, and so they were going to get new bedroom furniture, and it's great product. It was Ethan Allen furniture. Although the wood is more of a walnut in color, I kind of was like, oh, I don't know. I really have an idea in my mind of what I want my nursery to look like. That doesn't really fit it. But once I got the furniture in the room and I got the room decorated, honestly, I love the nursery either way, white or the walnut color. And just the savings of that great expense of buying those pieces was well worth it. That's usually something that you're not going to get in your baby shower is bedroom furniture itself. So if you can save yourself that expense, I would do it, and just realize that your baby bedroom furniture is very temporary. And then of course they're always going to get older and have their own opinions. So best to do it as cheaply as possible now. In addition to when we talked about the furniture in your baby shower, you're going to need to pick a date, of course, for your baby shower. With us, Elaine's due date was in January, and we were coming across, November with Thanksgiving and December with Christmas. So we did it early in November in hopes of, keeping everybody's holiday schedules available. And we had it in the basement of our church. And so these were some things that I was thinking about on trying to make this as cost effective as possible. I did call around and look at some event spaces because we did have quite a large guest list. We had over 70 people attend our baby shower, and I was just realizing that some of these professional places, it's just not economical to rent them for a baby shower. And then I thought, my local church, they have a great basement and a big open space. Let me just give them a call. And they were very welcoming, and it was great that they did that because it saved us some money. And I had two great friends that helped me organize my baby shower. So especially thinking of the size, think of somebody who's very organized and dependable so that they can take that stress off of you and who will obey your wishes. My two friends, they were very organized, and I told them that I wanted it to be nice but very simple. I did not want it to be extravagant, to look like it was somebody's wedding reception. And they respected my wishes with still putting on some touches that were unexpected. So they did go above and beyond, but still kept the event very simple. Now, that's, preparing for your baby shower. You're also going to need to get a baby registry. And I would recommend registering at more than one store, whether that be a store like Target and then also a store online like Amazon. That's what we did. There's just going to be some people that are going to be more comfortable shopping in a brick and mortar, and some are going to be more comfortable with shopping online. So we wanted to give them options. So I recommend having two baby registries on two different sites. And just know that if you get any duplicates or triplicates, those can be returned and you can get credit. And you're always going to need that credit to buy diapers or formula or clothes or whatever you need to supplement that you didn't get in your baby shower. So just keep that in mind. I will tell you that Target definitely makes it easy for returning things on your registry and getting that store credit so that you can use it later. Amazon, obviously got to look at shipping it back. So getting duplicates and triplicates and quadruplicates. One thing that I've learned in, having a baby registry and throwing a baby shower is that a lot of your friends are going to shop from your registry, but they're not actually going to purchase from your registry. They're going to go to the store, they're going to go online and just pick out the items and have them shipped to you. And so those items that they bought don't get marked off your registry. And so your next friend buys you those things. So we had a lot of doubles and triplicates of things that we had to take back to the store store and get that credit. But again, we're still going to be using it with diaper money, so it was not that huge of a deal. But just expect when you're opening presents in front of people to open the same thing maybe more than once. Keep that very thankful and surprised look on your face. And the last tip that I would give you is definitely write your thank you notes. I was a little bit overwhelmed with the amount of people that we had at our baby shower, plus all the people that were on Facebook and friends of mine that I haven't seen in years who saw that I was having a baby and decided to go on Amazon or Target and just buy something and have it shipped to us. We were getting stuff in the mail almost daily, so just keeping track of all those things that we got. Now, even though I had kept all the information from the people who shipped us stuff, and then I also had one of my friends at the baby shower notate all the gifts that each person had given us for the thank you cards, because it is very overwhelming to write a thank you card and say, thank you for the baby blanket and the baby bottles and the stuffed animal. It's really going to be a help. Instead, I focused on more writing the thank you cards to just address what it meant to me to have them show their love and support for my family, what it meant for us to be friends, and what's endearing about that friendship. And I think that was a little bit better than trying to go through my Excel spreadsheet and figure out, okay, who do I need to thank specifically for what? But anyway, I know this video ran a little bit longer than I hoped it would. Again, I'm going to try to keep these videos shorter than 20-25 minutes. So I don't want to talk too much longer. Hopefully this material and this information was helpful for you. If you want to subscribe to my channel, please do so below. Make sure you hit the notification button so you'll be notified when I make future videos. And thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.